Imagine going to your mailbox and finding a letter from the post office. When you open it, you find that it's a certificate of electronic waste disposal, and that your old computer was sent to a recycling plant instead of the landfill. In this world, electronic goods are properly disposed of, in the same way that we have services for proper recycling and other disposal methods. Currently, the world is facing an overproduction of electronics. As a result, the amount of electronic waste, or e-waste, produced by developing countries is rising, and is now the fastest growing waste stream. E-waste consists of technology near or at the end of its useful life. The global production and consumption of electronic products is increasing. As a consequence, there is more electronic waste being produced each year. When you think of e-waste, you might think of old cell phones and outdated computers. Although that is included in e-waste, it's important to remember that it's also mercury-containing light bulbs, an old microwave, the calculator you bought in middle school, and even your favorite diffuser. Let's take a deeper dive into just one product that is clogging up the e-waste stream: cell phones. There are currently more phones in existence than there are people on the planet. The number of phones will only continue to grow with advancements in tech, as people's demand for the newest product also grows. In 2014, 151 million phones were thrown out in the United States alone. Both large-scale systemic actions and individual actions have led to cell phones being 10% of total global e-waste. The systemic issues include phone companies creating purposefully short life cycles for their phones, and repair options being grossly overpriced and not widely available. Every year, new models of phones are released, and many people get rid of their old phone to make room for the new generation. Their old phones are not properly disposed of and end up in the landfill. So what is a cell phone made of? Your mobile phone is made up of a number of materials such as glass, chemicals that allow the glass to be touched over and over again, plastic, and metals. These metals range from aluminum alloys to gold and silver, all the way to rare metals. Mining is necessary to retrieve these elements. Manufacturing a smartphone accounts for 85 to 95% of the annual carbon footprint of the phone. The total global carbon emissions related to phone manufacturing is equivalent to the Philippines' annual carbon emissions. To add to this, there is a correlation between larger phones, which are increasing in popularity, and higher carbon emissions and more material usage. Accessories to the phone, like packaging, chargers, and cases, are also made from non-renewable materials and emit carbon in their manufacturing. When people decide to toss out their phone, the materials can end up in the landfill when they could have been used in the creation of other products. In the landfill, they can take millions of years to decompose. Plus, elements like zinc, lead, and arsenic can leak from the phones and infiltrate soil and water supplies. Sometimes the e-waste is exported to other countries. Towns like Guiyou in southern China dealt with the dumping of tons of e-waste. Thousands of people here, including children, are exposed to the chemicals involved in separating elements. If the phones are properly disposed of, they can be stripped for its parts. These parts can be reused or recycled in some form. The lithium battery that comes with your phone can last for many years after its expiration date. The battery in an iPhone 5S will last for 500 charging cycles before it's operating at 80% capacity. Meanwhile, the phone will continue to work even with the lower capacity. Besides the battery, other materials like copper, aluminum, platinum, and gold are also very useful materials that are used to make other objects, like car parts and other electronic equipment. The materials that end up in the landfill are equivalent to large sums of money. For example, in 2010, $54 million worth of silver and $244 million worth of gold entered landfill sites across the United States. So what are things that a consumer can do to be more sustainable when it comes to e-waste? First, consider endurance and life length when purchasing cell phones and other technology. After you make your purchase, try to keep your phone for as long as possible. Companies like Apple claim that their phone's expiration date is 3 years post-purchase, but they mostly still work after this point. Although there are societal pressures to have the newest and greatest thing, keeping your phone for as long as you can save you money as well as have great impacts on the environment. If everyone in just the European Union kept their phone for 1 year longer, we would reduce the carbon emissions equivalent to 2 million cars. Imagine the carbon emissions saved if everyone in the world kept their phone longer. In reality, we should be using our phones for close to 10 years to match the carbon associated with the phone. Make your phone last as long as possible by replacing the battery, screen, or other broken parts. This can be difficult sometimes with having to look for a reliable repair store or dealing with high prices for new parts, further encouraging people just to buy a new phone. We support the right to repair movement, the idea that consumers have the right to repair their products without being forced to purchase a new one or to pay for a manufacturer or a third party to repair it. Some companies are listening, with Apple offering a new self-service repair program with guides and tools that lets consumers fix their Apple products. Legislation on state or federal level would be a significant push for companies to provide consumers with more self-repair options. If you're interested in voicing your opinion to promote new legislation, write or call into your state legislature. For more information on how to do this, check out repair.org. The link will be in our description. The movement for consumer rights is growing, and there are lengths of improvements to be made in the future. Once you decide to get a new phone, try reselling your phone to make some money and allow someone else to have your phone. Or you can recycle your phone. Some manufacturers have trade-in or recycling programs, or you can drop it off at your local e-waste center or your local Best Buy. We recommend designating an e-waste box to collect your technology for occasional drop-offs to your recycling center. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, leave a comment, and share with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more science, lifestyle tips, and news from Sustainable Earth.